What's up, everybody? Welcome to an all-new episode of SCNS Live, the Super Cool Nerd Show. Thank you for joining us out there in the Super Cool Nerd Nation. The Super Cool Nerd Show. Thank you for joining us out there. Where is that coming from? Oh, that's probably me. Where is that coming from?
Come on, man.
It was totally me.
What's up, guys?
So,
Get it together.
I opened up a browser to watch the show. Whatever. Anyway. I hate, Cora needs to get back here and do this job better than... Oh, nice shirt. I just noticed that.
Yes.
Nice.
As she stretches, but I got the... It's all about the Blue Ranger. So
God,
I
love
hate
Ninja
you
Turtles.
so much right now.
don't hate... Why you hate me? You don't collect figures.
I would collect Billy because he's my favorite.
He was awful nice when I went to go meet him and give him your art that you couldn't go to.
You didn't give him my art because I still have it.
Was I the... Oh no, I got you.
Oh, you're talking about RJ Kyler.
No, I got you the
I'm
autographed
talking-
picture of
David
Billy when he was
Yost.
at Madness, so or something.
Yes.
Something.
Sure.
Like that. Anyway,
Yes.
I love the Beetleborgs too. They're so great.
I miss Beetleborgs, but I also don't miss Beetleborgs.
Beetleborgs was horrible. I'm sorry.
Beetleborgs was wonderful as a kid, but I look at it now and I'm like, this was a mistake.
That
Pretty
theme song,
sure-
man, just
Beetleborgs.
Pretty sure that's Blue Beetle's nickname.
The Japanese show that it was based around was actually pretty good. Okay, we're getting way off track. Anyway, here we are doing another at-home edition. God, I really hate the friggin' creeping darkness and wish it would just give me my life back. I want to do things, but
I just want to make sure of something, Jason.
What?
You don't think you're the only one, right?
No, of course
You're not
not.
the only one that's like, I wish I
not.
could have my life back, and all of us are like, woo!
No.
We get to see no one in our lives.
It is my pity party, though. Thank you for coming.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure, like, we were all on the same page.
I think we all are on the same page, that this all sucks and we keep having to do this. This table was gathering dust. I had to dust it off. I think my child
Yeah, I
was
think
having
so,
a
too.
fit in the back room there. Anyway, so it's another... There's still news and stuff to cover, so we're going to go in it. But how are you guys doing with your quarantine and everything?
This is how I'm doing.
Yeah, really making that a habit. Anyway,
Super original. I finished Hollow Knight. I beat it.
nice.
I did both good endings,
Nice.
and now I'm going back through to get one of the bad ones. There's 4 endings. One of them I'm not going to do because I looked at what you have to do, and it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. So I'm not doing that one, but I'm doing the other 3.
I mean,
Give it time in this quarantine, you might change your mind.
you should be
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to beat it.
done for that because a certain game comes out soon.
I'm playing it tonight.
You're playing it tonight.
There you go.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
I
I'm going to my brother's house. He's getting it, and so I'm going to at least see my brother and play the first part of The Last of Us. Really excited.
I actually
Been-
canceled my copy of that game because I'm gonna wait for the PS5.
Okay. Have fun.
that's like November. That's like November,
That's
December.
so far
It is
away.
June.
I'm in the middle of.
I hope you're not thinking that you're not going to be spoiled, because this community is really bad about that.
Honestly, I've never how long has Zero Horizon Dawn been out?
2017, 3
Yeah,
years.
3 years.
I don't know how it ends.
Horizon Zero Dawn, the difference between Horizon Zero Dawn and The Last of Us is they're incomparable. They're
Okay.
the fandom is so much bigger for The Last of Us. Yes, a lot of people liked Horizon Zero Dawn, but The Last of Us is like a
Plus,
worldwide
the
thing.
story of Last of Us came out like 2-3 months ago on a leak or something, and people were I stayed away from all that, so I'm like, I can make it till whenever, so I'll be
Also,
all right.
Horizon Zero Dawn isn't super linear.
Okay. I started playing it, by the way, so I'm actually enjoying it
Isn't
a lot.
it fun? Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Every time I play it, I don't see that character. I see you.
Just me playing it, yeah.
No, I see you as the character. Like,
Oh, okay.
I don't see Alloy. I see you. So I've been playing that, and I've
Not
been
sure
working
how to
on the
feel about
cosplay.
that. She goes through a lot in that game.
Well, you're gonna cosplay her. That's why I see it.
I am.
So.
I am.
I'm also did start working on a cosplay for next May. So, funny enough, the only thing I need to fund is a Russian flag and a motorcycle jacket.
Well, wow. Okay.
Can you please say the cosplay? Because that's making me uncomfortable.
Dwayne from the Lost Boys. Apparently, he has a Russian flag hanging from his jean jacket, from his leather jacket, which I didn't notice till we were looking pictures to see how accurate I need to make it. And for whatever reason, he has a Soviet flag hanging from him. So I don't know, but it's part of the cosplay. So
Just be careful.
Jason might
I was
beat you
about
up or
to
something.
say, yeah, you're going to be put on a watch list of the administration's favorite people.
that's true.
Anyway,
But
Cora, how you doing? Still playing Final Fantasy? Of course. And
As-
making artwork?
As always, I actually got a couple of new sketchbooks. I was actually able to find a new Bristol sketchbook that made me very happy because it's by the company that I usually get my books from. And it was a lot cheaper than the Bristol books usually are. And God, I forgot how much I loved Bristol paper. It's so smooth. And colored pencils just glide across it like water. God, I love
No idea
it.
what that is. But anyway,
Basically, it's thicker than cardstock, so you can use almost any medium on it.
ooh,
Like, paint and watercolors don't go on it super well because of how wet they are, but they still work on it. And markers, charcoal, ink, colored pencils are all, like, preferred on it.
I was going to ask if you wanted us to leave you and your sketchbook alone for a minute, and then I made myself sad with my own joke.
I mean, I did sit there for like 5 minutes after I got it, just kind of like sat there and rubbed the page.
yeah, I
So
knew this was going to get weird.
Yeah. Got
Won't take long.
real weird real
Anyway.
quick.
I can make it weirder. No, I'm kidding.
We're going to
kidding.
move on to some super cool nerd news. You stop right now. All right, go ahead and kicking it off. We have an official trailer for the next animated DC movie, and it is our boy, Deathstroke. It is going to look at the origins of Deathstroke, and I've got actual details right from the. Basically, this is a, and I won't get into it anyway. I won't do that. I was gonna get on a spill of DC making all their villains more interesting than their damn heroes, but hey. I can say that for another time.
That's the tagline for DC.
Deathstroke Knights and Dragons, the movie, is going to be available August 4th on digital on 8/18 for the hard copy. Basically, this will be, let's see, of course, the combo pack. It's a new take on Deathstroke. Mercenary and Master Assassin Slade Wilson leads two lives. One as a relentless killer known as Deathstroke, and the other as a dedicated family man. When these worlds collide, forced together by the vicious terror group known as Hive, it is the killer in Slade who must fight to save his loved ones, as well as what remains of himself. With his soul torn apart and his young son held captive, Deathstroke will have to atone for the sins of his past to fuel the battles of his future. Voicing Deathstroke in this will be Michael Chiklis from The Shield, and I'm good with that, actually.
Also from Gotham.
Also from Gotham, yeah.
Yeah.
Playing his wife will be Adeline Kane Wilson. That's going to be played by Sasha Alexander from Brazilian Isles, Shameless, and NCIS. And you got a couple of Chris Jai, who he'll be playing Alex. He's in Thundercats Roar. They actually listed that. He'll be playing the Jackal.
ooh,
A lot of cast. And here's where I get into this thing. Not just Deathstroke, but DC's villains are always better than their heroes, so they end up making them like anti-heroes, which Slade is not. Slade is a villain through and through. He tortures teenagers, which, you know, being that I'm a father, I can kind of understand, but it's still bad. But yeah, Deathstroke Knights and Dragons coming out next month. I do like the DC animated stuff. I know recently they have kind of rebooted that. So this almost looks in that same style of animation, by the way. So I'm curious like where they're going with all this. But yeah, new DC movie. So new DC animated movie.
I don't necessarily mind the animation. It looks a little bit better than some in the past, but I'm not a huge fan of it. I will say, I made a joke. DC's villains have always been, I don't want to say always more interesting, but a lot of them are more interesting than their heroes. It's the dynamic between the two that makes them interesting. And if we're comparing DC to Marvel, I prefer DC's villains over Marvel's you want to rule the world, get in line. That's literally everyone's motivation.
Yeah, I mean, some of them. Why did I say us?
Don't spill our secrets, Jason.
Wow, did I say us? I didn't mean that. That was a Freudian slip. Anyway, I'm just going to move on from that. Anyway, so yeah, looks good. Rick, you've actually got some other DC news for us.
I do. So, Wonder Woman has moved yet again. So, back when Wonder Woman 1984 was announced, the original release date was supposed to be December 13th of 2019. Obviously, that did not happen. It got pushed to November 1st of 2019, but obviously that also did not happen. It got pushed then to June 5th of this year, and then the darkness arrived. But we now have a set date, kind of. October 2nd of this year. Gal Gadot earlier this week on her Instagram posted the new date for Wonder Woman 1984. Hopefully we'll finally get this film with the wide release that it so deserves, because I mean this movie needs to be seen on the big screen. Though, of course, with the darkness still happening, I know theaters are about to open. It's kind of like 50% capacity, but we'll see what happens since a lot of states are still having a lot of cases of the darkness happening. So, but we do have now a new set date for Wonder Woman, October 2nd, 2020. Of course, that is subject to change to see what happens as we continue through this hellhole of a year. And we also have another new release date. Christopher Nolan's Tenet. Original release date was the July 17th. That is no longer the release date. It got pushed 2 weeks. It is now July 31st, 2020. So a little over a month away from that. But of course, depending on what happens with the darkness, it might also get pushed to the fall. This is going to be one of the first big films to be released along with Mulan, which comes out the week before. Or it's supposed to come out the week before. So we will see what happens. Of course, we don't know much about Tenet because Christopher Nolan likes to be very secretive about his movies, and rightfully so, because once you watch them, it is actually absolutely bonkers. So yeah, 2 new release dates for two movies that have been moved around a couple of times. So we'll see, and we'll see as kind of like as things progress, things are opening, whether things get shut down again, which I think is likely, though. We'll see what happens. So, July 31st for Tenet, October 2nd for Wonder Woman of this year.
It's a shame that this. Wonder Woman was probably one of the better DC movies that I enjoyed, and nope, just a big nope on getting that movie on time. Also, Black Widow. By now, I should be getting Black Widow on DVD, but no.
Yeah, that's November 5th, I believe, on Black Widow.
I don't know, just us adapting to a changing society yet again and not getting... So, well, we're not getting a movie. At least, we're not hacking and coughing hooked up to a ventilator. But, hey.
So,
That's
but you
just
know,
me.
what's one thing I kind of realized as things kind of progress? Like, we should be getting a lot of like. One thing I love physical media, and I love buying DVDs of films. But with no movies coming out, there are no DVDs to buy. So it's kind of like, what happens at that point? Like, I think the last big DVD that came out was Sonic and Onward, and then after that, like, that's it. There were no movies that had been released out in theaters, so there's no DVDs to go out and buy. So it's kind of like now the DVD market's going to dry up as well, unless you want to go out and buy like 4K versions of older movies, which more of them are coming out. But like I used to go on a website that would tell me what movies were coming out. I'm like, there's nothing of interest really coming out because there's been no movies in the theaters. So
The pool is definitely drying up, but you know, hey, it is what it is for now. Cass, you got some other movie news for us, though.
I do. Speaking of new movies coming out, we got a picture today for Monster Hunter World. It's a new. I keep saying Monster Factory, and it's gotten pretty
It's a
bad.
different game. That's it. That's the picture with. Oh,
We got a couple new pictures. I believe that's one of them.
oh okay.
What I did not realize until today that principal photography for this movie ended in December 2018.
What?
oh wow,
Yeah, so this was kind of a long time coming. And also that the budget for this movie is relatively low for a movie like this. It's only $60 million from the source that I have, which I absolutely support. I think that studios shouldn't be spending their, entire fiscal, yearly budget on one movie and then basically going under if it doesn't make $1 billion. But I definitely support kind of mid-budget movies, and this is one that I think is going to be a super, super fun movie, and they definitely have the style of Monster Hunter there with the unnecessarily giant weapons, which was it's the fun part of Monster Hunter.
I will reserve as a Monster Hunter player and hating on other players that have the great swords, which is exactly what that is. Screw
Yeah.
them, but he's actually got the bow too, so props. He's got the bow and the great sword. Actually,
Yeah.
no, just props because he's got the bow. Screw that great sword. I'm a bit concerned about this lower budget because I want to see my favorite monsters like the Devil Ho and or Pickle Joe as we call him in the game. Anyway,
Jason, they're gonna be stop motion.
I know, but what? No, they won't.
Hey, stop motion is pretty impressive nowadays. Just
Oh, I
saying.
know. I just want to see Jason's
I want to
reaction
see all
to
my
that.
favorite monsters on screen before they get killed and made into hides and their bones made into new and different weapons. But I didn't realize that principal photography has been that long done.
That's a long time. And I don't even think before all this happened that we had a release date.
What the hell is going on here?
My guess is that it's just a monstrous amount of CGI, and a lot of the budget of these bigger movies is spent on shortening that post-production period. So my guess is that they are taking their time with the CGI and having fewer people over a longer time to kind of keep that budget down.
So I have been following this, but honestly, I'd kind of forgotten about it because nothing had been mentioned. Supposedly the release date is September 4th, 2020.
I'm gonna. I think the key word there is supposedly. Like, sure.
Oh Lord,
Yeah.
T.I. is in this movie. Why? Why is T.I. in this movie? But anyway.
He's having fun, man.
Hey, he
Made his money. He is now just straight chilling.
One of my favorite actors right now, Ron Perlman, is in this movie apparently as well. Which
Oh,
hey, Ron
perfect.
Perlman.
yeah, Perlman challenging U.S. senators to fights on Twitter. My man.
Yo, real quick, T.I. was really good in American Gangster. His
I'm-
role wasn't big, but he was good in that.
I'm giving him crap. He's got some pretty good acting chops. I'll stop busting on him. He
It
actually
was super
he
fun
was
in Ant-Man.
much better than I anticipated he would be. All right,
Yeah.
Hannah, you got some other movie news for us, some happy movie news.
I do. So, do you guys like Studio Ghibli movies?
I do.
I've yet to see one, but sure.
Do you like movies about magic and pretty things?
Yes.
Well, a new Studio Ghibli movie is in production called Earwig and the Witch. This is based off of the book by Diana Wynne Jones, who other Ghibli fans will recognize as the author for Howl's Moving Castle.
Did I put the right picture up, by the way? The one with the little girl with the cat?
Yes.
Okay.
It's an illustration from the book. I thought it would be cute instead of the cover. This is not going to be directed, though, by Hayao Miyazaki. This is going to be directed by Goro Miyazaki, his son, who also directed Tales of Earthsea and From Up on Poppy Hill.
The torch is being passed.
And not only that, this will be Studio Ghibli's first full-length 3D CGI feature.
What?
Whoa.
Which, honestly, I'm kind of excited to see because, I mean, we have seen what a Ghibli style would look like in 3D with the Ni no Kuni games. Because that is in a Miyazaki style, but it's in a very 3D cartoony style. Like, I love that style. It's gorgeous. And if that, just, a bit more polished, obviously, is the style they're going for the movie, that could be really interesting.
The food is going to look even more delicious than it already does.
Exactly. Basically, if there's any studio that's going to really push for the beauty and natural just fluidity of CGI, it's going to be Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was going to be a 3D feature though. Wow.
Yeah.
That's like you get something that, it's like you get a nice, piece of apple pie and it's all tasty and everything. And you're like, ooh, I can't wait. And then somebody says, here's some vanilla ice cream with it. Just make it better. Wow. That's really cool though that, that his son is going to be taking over a lot more.
Yes.
That's what I'm really excited about.
No. It's like, the Reitman family or just passing that torch. Because, he's not going to make movies forever. But
all right, Cora, I have a question
excited.
for you.
Yes.
If someone were to want to start watching the Studio Ghibli movies, which one should they start with?
I would recommend starting with either Howl's Moving Castle or Spirited Away if they want to go with ones that are a bit more mainstream. Because both of those basically give you the things that Studio Ghibli is known for. It gives you the magic, it gives you that transport, and it gives you delicious looking food.
Okay.
If you want something a bit more not as popular, so to speak, I would recommend like Porco Rosso or Porco Rosso, just because that one's hysterical. You have a pig that flies a plane. I love that.
I say Howl's Moving Castle. That's my favorite.
Oh, yeah. Or the other one, and this is one of my favorites, The Cat Returns.
Ooh,
Okay.
That one's a good one because you have, it's cats.
Well,
You have you have a kid that follows cats because they're walking and talking. She's just curious about it, and then she falls into this world that's just run by cats. It's great.
So thing is, all of the Studio Ghibli movies are now on HBO Max. So I just pop in there and watch any of these. So I'm gonna try to watch some of these this weekend because someone used to try to get me to watch them and I wouldn't because I just wasn't in the mood for them. So
yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? Why not? It's now I have them here for free. Well, not really free, but I have access to them, and I don't have to worry about finding a DVD of it or whatever. So,
Right.
So yeah.
And one thing that's always been very important with Ghibli films, and it's something to keep in mind as well, no matter what happens, by the end of the film, you feel good. There are some exceptions. Okay. There are some exceptions to those movies, like Princess Mononoke. You don't really leave that movie feeling very good because it's about humans. Yeah, don't start with. I started with that one, and it was good. But My Neighbor Totoro is also a good one.
Oh yeah,
That was
one I introduced my kids to first.
Yes,
anyway.
That was a really good one to introduce kids to Miyazaki.
All right, so what else do we have for movie news? Anybody?
We got a 34-second sneak peek into the Snyder cut of Justice League today, and we got our first look at Darkseid. It's very short. Zack Snyder released it on Twitter. Excuse me. And it's Wonder Woman holding a torch, and she comes upon a like a drawing on a piece of rock, and you can very clearly tell that it's Darkseid, and she looks just scared, like oh my gosh, she might know who it is, and she just looks really, really frightened. And then you kind of see like a faraway shot of Darkseid with like a barren wasteland behind him, and the ship's coming down. So it was a very quick shot. Wasn't a whole lot, but for those that are excited for the Snyder Cut, I'm more excited now because Darkseid.
I don't know. Should be fun. I'm down for a little bit of Darkseid.
I mean, that's what all this is for, right?
No, it's for a different vision of a movie that I enjoyed, and I'm not talking about this right now.
We're not going to do
Yay,
this again.
Darkseid! I would love to hear Superman give a monologue like he does at the end of Justice League, the 2004 animated, where he talks about living in a world of cardboard. It's my favorite Superman moment that I've ever seen. I would love
when
something
he starts
like that.
whipping Darkseid.
Exactly. And he's like, I live in a world of cardboard. I have to constantly make sure I don't break anything, but you I can break.
Now,
it's
see,
just the coolest Superman moment
Justice
ever.
League Unlimited had them moments, man. I love that show.
It's so good.
And unfortunately, it's kind of my measuring stick for a lot of DC movies. I'm sorry,
yeah, don't do that.
Dwayne McDuffie wrote a lot of those episodes. I was a big fan of his writing. So, the Flash one, where he, Lex Luthor, what are you going to do? Run away? Yeah, I am. That was awesome. But
now I get to finally figure out who the Flash is.
And he's just
I don't know who this is.
Just that was a great moment. And that show was full of those, which, oh boy.
Yeah, you're never going to get the same kind of complex characters in, an hour and a half or 2 hours as you do in 40.
Look,
that's just never going to happen.
I hate to do things like this, but imagine if Dwayne was still around and had maybe written one or two of these movies.
It doesn't matter. We don't spend the time with the characters.
I think he could have gotten it.
When you spend 40, 50 hours with a character, it's always going to be better than when you spend an hour and a half with them.
Okay.
Always.
I'm sorry. I won't go on my rant. Anyway, we got any other movie news we want to cover? Are we good?
I got TV news.
Okay,
yeah,
let's move on to the TV news then. What you got?
Me?
Yeah, you said you got TV news. Go.
Okay. So a couple of times we've had a show be on multiple platforms at once, right? Netflix and Hulu or Amazon Prime and HBO, blah, blah, blah. For the first time that we know of, I believe, you will actually get a different experience when you watch something on two different streaming platforms. So Hannibal, the TV show, came out in 2013, explores a young Hannibal with Will Graham. Amazing TV show developed by Brian Fuller. Absolutely stunning. They deserve more seasons. Mm-hmm. So it showed up on Amazon Prime a little bit ago, and now it's on Netflix. But on Netflix, they recolor corrected it. One of the biggest problems with Hannibal was how dark it was. Not how dark, because yes, it's a serial killer. No, how physically dark it is. We went a little too X-Files with it, and there's sometimes that you just look and you can't see anything, especially with the whole Wendigo thing in season 1, all this stuff. So with this color correction, you can now see parts of Hannibal that you've never seen before, which is absolutely fascinating.
Is the shot that you provided from that?
I'm sorry?
Is the shot that you provided us, that's from?
That's just a promo shot. Okay. There have been a couple of side-by-side comparisons, and some you can't even tell the difference, but it's just kind of the overall nature of the thing. If you haven't seen Hannibal, I absolutely recommend to go watch it. It's stars Mads Mikkelsen, as well as Hugh Dancy, guest stars like Eddie Izzard, and just some kind of off-the-wall bonkers people involved in it. It was so, so, so good. But if you're going to watch it, I would recommend watching it on Netflix. It's a little bit lighter, and you get to see more.
You actually get to see the show. Because I remember watching it, like streaming it in my room, like on my laptop, and I couldn't see half the show because it was too dark.
Exactly.
Like, the only scenes that were well lit were like the scenes that were outside, or the dinner scenes where you actually saw the beautiful spread, which thank you for at least letting us see that, because they worked hard on those.
Yeah. Daytime stuff was pretty good, but some of the more the darker scenes, some of the more like stylistic scenes, you just couldn't see all of them. And I'm excited to go back and rewatch the show. Also because it's an amazing, amazing show.
So if I go to Netflix now, it's color corrected already?
Yes.
Perfect. Because I haven't seen the show either.
I've never watched it either. So,
I mean, if you like movies about serial killers,
it's highly, highly stylized.
I mean,
It's almost an art house piece, but in a TV show. The only reason they got to do it is because they did it in summer. So they weren't competing with other networks for time, which is the only reason they got as many seasons as it did.
yeah, it did suffer from the let's move it around syndrome, though, which is, I think, one of the reasons that it suffered at all.
Yeah.
Because it was popular.
If you want to see, what's the main dwarf from The Hobbit? Richard Armitage. If you want to see Richard Armitage as the Red Dragon, watch this show.
Yeah.
all right.
all right. Well, I got a little bit of TV news and something I'm looking forward to, and actually kind of a no-brainer. Is this really news? But the Obi-Wan series that is expected from Disney Plus will be using the same type of set that they used in The Mandalorian. The big
buddy.
television, well, it's living inside of a movie screen set that they used on The Mandalorian. They will be reusing for Obi-Wan, and I am here for it. That was really going back and looking at The Mandalorian and seeing how it was filmed on this unique and groundbreaking style of technology, method of technology. It was amazing to watch. And I had to go rewatch The Mandalorian just because of that. But yeah, where you can project whatever set you need to immediately, instead of green screening everything. This is awesome. And Ewan McGregor has come forward. He had a little bit to say on that. Yeah, it will be utilizing the innovative VFX technology, and it's called The Volume, which is awesome. That's an awesome name, by the way. The immersive virtual reality set comprised of HD LED panels can display pretty much anything. And according to Ian McGregor, he's really looking forward to it. He said, I think I'm going to enjoy this. I think I'm going to enjoy it much more. The prequels were all blue screen and green screen, and it was hard to imagine. But nowadays, I think things have moved on so much, and I think a lot of what you see is going to be what we saw on set. I don't know if you've been behind the scenes of the Mandalorian series, but they use this incredible technology on that series. It's pretty amazing, and it makes you feel like you're in the place. So, oh boy, when I first saw that they used this, I was like, that is so cool. And yeah, it would to an actor. You can kind of look upon the expanse of everything, especially considering I think most of this is going to take place on Tatooine, just because that's where Obi went, you know? But
so to go along with what you were saying, Jason, like if you've not seen like the behind the scenes documentary they've been doing on Disney Plus, I highly recommend watching it because they go through how this evolved into what it is, like going from Jungle Book to Lion King to now Mandalorian, and how they're able to really advance this technology in less than 5 years. And like Christopher Nolan actually did something kind of similar to this, not to this extent, but whenever they filmed Interstellar, he would project the images of space onto the wall. So when actors looked out of their space module, they could see Saturn and the planets and the stars. So it was kind of there, but what Jon Favreau and Lucasfilm and Skywalker Ranch have been able to do to advance it to this point is absolutely amazing.
It's the next step forward, and
Yeah.
it's going to be big.
Enough of the green. We need to move on from blue and green screen. It was great technology, but this is awesome. So, Anybody else got anything to cover on TV or series
do.
of any sort? What?
I do. We got a promo for the next season of The Twilight Zone, hosted and showrun by Jordan Peele, who is absolutely fantastic. I just jotted down some names of people that I saw in the trailer. So we got Joel McHale, Billy Porter, Jillian Jacobs, Jimmy Simpson, Topher Grace, Miranda Bakarin, and Chris Maloney as just a few of the faces that we're going to see in this next season of Twilight Zone. The first season was really, really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
We got looks at different worlds, and the Twilight Zone is such a kind of a revolutionary but also a classic concept. And I couldn't imagine it in better hands than Jordan Peele. He's got such an odd style that it looks really, really good. We just saw brief glimpses. We also got titles and some casts that I'm not going to go over right now. But yeah, it's exciting stuff. I forgot to write down. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I forgot to write down when it comes out.
I still love this series. It's well done. I've always been a big fan of the Twilight Zone from when I was a kid to now. So they are carrying the torch very well with this anthology series. I absolutely love it. I actually
June 25th. I got it. Too.
Like
June
this
25th.
June 25th?
Like 7 days.
Like I can see June 25th from here?
Like
okay.
7 days. Like 4 days before my birthday.
Nice.
7 days.
Yes. Because I went on and kept CBS All Access after watching Picard. I went on and kept it when they gave the
Discovery's
episodes.
coming soon too. They already filmed a lot, didn't they?
I've actually been binging Discovery on your recommendation.
Good, right?
I do like it.
Good. I watched To Kill a Mockingbird with my mom a couple of nights ago, and we talked about how Gregory Peck is the grandfather of Spock in Discovery.
Yeah.
Which is super cool.
All right, Cora, what have you got for us on?
All right. It's technically anime, but it's TV in Japan, so we're going to go with that.
Deal with it.
So we have 2 new animes coming out in 2021. The first one, I'm just going to go ahead and get it out of the way because I never thought I would have to talk this much about a show. The new Prince of Tennis is coming out with a new series, The New Prince of Tennis, Hyote versus Rikai. That is going to be coming out next year. I don't know why. I love Prince of Tennis, but at this point, I'm just why? Why?
Fair.
No, I'm still on the lie. Go ahead.
We don't have a hard release date for it yet, but I'm so sorry. Yeah, we don't have a hard release date for it yet, but it is safe to assume it's probably not coming out until at least next year. As much as I'm like, but why? I'm still going to watch it. I can't lie. But the other one, and I'm super, super, super excited for this one. Shaman King is getting a reboot anime coming in April of 2021.
Ooh.
So the anime originally came out, I believe, in 2009. I don't remember when. Oh, I'm sorry. No, 2001 to 2002. It was okay. It wasn't that. It actually wasn't that bad. But it is due for an update. We were supposed to get it a few years ago, but the creator said, unless you're bringing back the original cast and staff, the answer is no. So it looks like they're going to be bringing back the original Japanese cast and staff for it, although the question does become how they're going to be distributing it over here. Because 4Kids was in charge of the dub when it was originally here, and I don't know if they still have the rights. So that'll be interesting to see. Funimation has distribution rights on it, but we don't know if they have translation and everything.
It'll probably be Funimation then.
At least
out there.
It'll be great. This is one of those shows. If you like supernatural, fighting manga, here it is. You have kids that fight with ghosts. That's their shtick. They have ghosts and they fight.
That's the plot of the new Ghostbusters movie.
This is
That's the
first.
plot.
This came first.
I don't want to rain on your parade, but that's the plot of a lot of movies.
Fair. It's still
On
fun.
Jason's parade, not yours. I would never
Gotcha.
rain on your parade.
Oh, thank you.
Bite me.
But yeah, I highly recommend checking it out. I would recommend finding newer versions of the manga where they've edited certain things, because there were some, I will admit, there were some very questionable choices art-wise by the creator for some of the characters that were later fixed.
What does
One of the characters had a bandana that had swastikas on it.
because it's
because-
not
Right.
It was a very, they were using it in a very different way, but the creator was like, this was a mistake, and he changed it. So now it's just like a
Okay.
plain red bandana.
Because
Okay,
assholes
okay.
tend to appropriate things for no reason. Anyway.
and it still
Exactly.
means good luck in Eastern
Exactly.
Society. Yeah.
Exactly. And he, when he realized like the problem it was causing overseas, he changed it. So just be aware of those things. But other than that, fantastic. That's all my TV.
We get everything out for TV because we can move on to some video game stuff. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with some video game stuff because at one point during a dark point in my life, a temptress came upon me and basically gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. And that woman was my wife. And she dragged me into World of Warcraft. Also, she could get a mount, you know, and I had a joke that I'm not going to say because she's here. Anyway, but
Oh no, go for it. Go for
I'm
it, Jason.
not going to go for it. I fear and respect and love my wife. But anyway,
We'll protect you.
World of Warcraft recently went out and they just cleaned the board of gold farmers. They pulled 74,000 bot accounts from World of Warcraft yesterday. The majority of these were just using, they were farming accounts, farming gold, farming enemies to get things, and of course, sell them on the World of Warcraft black market. That does exist and is a thing, and I may have once or twice bought gold off of there, but don't judge me. Anyway, this is a continuation of changes they've been trying to make since 2004. But yeah, the most, let me see. And apparently, yeah, these are all verified just botting accounts. If you play World of Warcraft, holy crap, 74,000 accounts wiped out. World of Warcraft costs $15 a month to play. So they were paying for each and every one of these accounts, I'm assuming, to get up into the levels that they need to actually farm this gear. Cass is sitting there with her mouth open. Yes, can you imagine the just ugly sweatshops that are around the world of people who this is their job to come in for 12 hours a day to farm gold so spoiled kids and sometimes adults dragged into games can buy gold.
I don't
Go ahead.
know when you're
process
playing
it.
a phone game and they say, spend $2, get 500 tokens so you can
Yeah,
keep
sure.
playing this game. I don't do that. The idea of farming, of not of farming, but of buying farmed is just, that would have never occurred to me.
74,000.
That's
And see, Final Fantasy XIV actually has an issue with that as well. I don't know how many times when I'm in starting areas, I'll just see like an entire just army of bots. And the thing is, there's not people controlling them. They have created they're probably playing on a computer where they have a mod that will do that for them. That's probably what was happening with Warcraft as well. And Warcraft has a thing, and so does 14, where you can play to a certain level for free.
Essentially, you just write a macro and
Yeah.
and you just put that up, and it makes the character do whatever. And it's macros are cheating in MMO games. Full stop. As a person that has played MMOs, if you're using a macro, no, I'm not gonna say it. I'm still gonna say I think macros are cheating.
Nope. I use a macro in 14 for my healer because I am on controller, and one, I have limited space, and two, then I only have to push one button to do swift cast and raise at the same time instead of having to push two buttons and also risk dying. So
I learned that
Also,
there's an
they're legal
entire
in 14.
industry. There's an industry that I'm just not aware of.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. My world is kind of blown.
Well, that industry has gotten small. I mean, as much as they've done, I'm going to say it. These will be back up by the end of the week, probably.
Oh yeah.
Because they make money from this. But congratulations, are actually doing something about it. Maybe they'll stick with it. But yeah.
Guess your
That's
girl
a-
found a new job.
That's a lot of accounts. That's all I got to say. All right. Rick, you want to give us some video game news?
I got two, and I'm so excited for both. I'm gonna start with the one that came out 2 days ago. So 21 years ago, yes, 21 years ago, a really awesome game came out for the Nintendo 64. You were a Pokemon photographer. Yes, 21 years ago, we got Pokemon Snap, where you were a Pokemon photographer named Todd, where you were in this little vehicle. You got to go to different parts of this island and take photos of Pokemon. You got to throw apples, you got to throw little pellets at them, and you got to interact, get to catch cool pictures. And granted, the original Pokemon Snap only had 64 of the then 151 Pokemon. But now we are getting a sequel for the Switch. You are going to be on a new island. No release date yet, but you're going to be on different islands and see different Pokemon and the different environments and be able to get new behavior of these Pokemon and kind of fill up your Pokédex full of Pokemon photos. And I am here for it. I still play the original. I still got my 64. I still play the original Pokemon Snap, and it's still a lot of fun. And I'm so excited that we are getting this again. The only thing that makes me a little sad is that Blockbuster is no longer around, and I can take my cartridge to Blockbuster and print out my photos.
You realize you can take screenshots, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's the thing.
but the nostalgia of going to Blockbuster with your cartridge and printing out stickers of your Pokemon pictures, it brings me a little sadness.
Well, now you can go to Blockbuster to vote, which is what all
Yes.
old Blockbusters became.
But yes, a brand new Pokemon Snap game coming out for the Nintendo Switch. No release date yet, but go out there. The trailer is pretty cool. You get to see a bunch of new Pokemon that you get to take photos of. I'm real excited for it. Like I said, I played the original, and I'm here for it. So, yeah.
I just have to ask because I don't understand this on a fundamental level. But I didn't understand Animal Crossing, and now I do. That being said, I've played Pokemon Snap, and I still don't get it. Am I crazy, or is this?
Well, I mean,
No,
yes.
it's not for everyone.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
it's one of those like different strokes for different folks. Like as a person, I enjoyed it because it was something that I could do just to relax. It was mind-numbing relaxation.
Okay. That's fine.
Also, I knew how to get a lot of the different like really high quality shots, like Pikachu doing the electric shock or getting the Charmanders yelling at me or just
Is it that
random
you-
shit like that.
Is it that you poke them with a stick?
Actually,
throw-
yes, you throw
Perform,
apples at the
boy.
Charmanders until they all group together, and then they just yell at
joking.
you.
You throw things at a
I was
creature until they
joking.
get the right pose you want?
Yes.
Yes.
What sick person came up with this game?
Oh, there's one where you
It's a terrible thing to do.
to get Charmeleon, you have to chase a Charmander over to a Magmar that attacks it, and then it evolves into Charmeleon, and then there's a Charmeleon that you knock into a lava pit so that it evolves into Charizard.
That's some Michael Vick stuff right there. Whoa, what's going on here?
You did not just go there.
Yeah, I did. Screw him. Kill dogs. Anyway,
Ew.
if I do any of these
Well,
as a pet
you
owner,
chase a
as a
baby.
pet owner, if I throw things at my dog,
Understand,
Layla,
like with the
pose for this
Charmanders,
picture.
their whole
Pose.
thing is fire, and they can swim in lava and be fine.
You chase a baby though.
I was going to argue it, but I think one of them is newly hatched.
I have no words. So buy
But yes,
your
okay,
animal,
so yes,
animal
Pokemon Snap,
cruelty
no release date
Pokemon
yet,
coming
but it
up.
is coming out
This
for Nintendo
soon.
Switch. I personally think it's going to come out during the holiday season, and like I said, I'm here for it. So, in more video game
get to the good
news,
one.
today, like literally an hour before the show, 2 hours before the show started, EA had a live stream of some games that were coming out. And honestly, the one I was really interested in was one, and we finally got some gameplay footage of Star Wars Squadrons. And let me tell you, it is absolutely bonkers. Also, big news. Star Wars Squadrons will not only be able to be on crossplay, but you will also be able to play it with a PSVR. So you'll be able to put on like the VR thing, and you'll be in the cockpit of the X-Wing or the TIE Fighter or the A-Wing or the TIE Interceptor, whatever you're in, and you'll be like flying the whatever, and it looks amazing. I'm so excited for this. There will be a single player mode, which you will actually go back and forth between the Empire and the Rebel Alliance. And funny enough, I think if I saw it correctly, the name of the Empire is her name is Case Cassandra, but spelled with two S's.
It's me.
So you'll be able to do a single player mode on it, and then the multiplayer, there'll be different multiplayer modes. One will be 5-on-5. The other one, which I'm real excited about, is the fleet battles, where each battle, it's like a 5 campaign battle, and each one just gets harder and harder and harder until you finally get to like the final battle of it. And sometimes you'll be fighting, sometimes you'll be defending. So it's really awesome. October 2nd of 2020 is the release date. Xbox One, PS4, and PC, and it will support VR support for the PS4 and the PC, and you will be able to crossplay, which I think is huge.
Let me provide a little bit more detail on this, because I posted this on the Facebook page a couple days ago. I'm a big fan of these games. I want my games where I can fly my X-Wings. So the game is only going to cost you about $40. Questionable, but okay. There's going to be plans right now for 8 ships available with a fighter, interceptor. They have different classes: fighter, interceptor, support, and bomber. So you'll get the X-Wing, A-Wing, Y-Wing, and the U-Wing with the TIE Fighter, TIE Interceptor, TIE Bomber, and TIE Reaper, which you actually see a little bit in the trailer. Of course, we do got the 5-on-5, and
Of course, there's a Reaper in there.
and this is set just a
5
little bit.
bastions.
The game will be set a little bit after Return of the Jedi, and like I said, choose the light or the dark. Of course, if you choose anything but the Rebel Alliance, you're a dirty imp and you need to die. So there, I said that. Also, this will probably be the first one that I actually considered VR for. Because if I can live inside of the Star Wars universe in an X-Wing, y'all may not get me back.
Seriously, if you go watch the gameplay footage, because it really is dogfighting, and the way to describe how each different they're not planes, what would you call them?
Ships.
All the different types of ships, just the way they move, like they're all so different, and like some of them you can turn like right on the dot and go backwards and fire a missile and just all these things, and it's just like I'm like, all of
these games, the ships were always noticeable on, like, if there'd be some missions, okay, my X-Wing's not going to cut it, I need more speed, let me go ahead and get into the A-Wing.
Yep.
Maybe I need a little bit more firepower, I'll grab my B-Wing. Oh, man.
And we will see some, they haven't, other than Wedge Antilles, which was in the original trailer, there will be other appearances by other Star Wars characters from the already known universe. So we'll see who's all in this. And since this is right after Return of the Jedi, is it within the 5 years of Mandalorian? Could we see some Mandalorian characters pop up?
They've always, and this was with LucasArts when they were when they were an actual game company, would always throw great Easter eggs in there and add ships and everything. The one of them, the Naboo Starfighter, was well into a Star Wars game way before the movie came out. Then after the movie came out, somebody was like, oh, by the way, if you go back in there and put in this code, you can get the Naboo Starfighter. It's like, this has always been in here? Because this is before you could download things, just to a console and boom, it's there. This was the N64. What was on that cartridge was on that cartridge. So
Yep.
I was mad
There was
as
no
hell.
DLC. There was no extra. There was none of that.
The game been out for like months or almost a year, and they were like, oh yeah, the Naboo Starfighter's always been in it. Like, oh, I'm mad, but I'm going to go unlock this Naboo Starfighter. Anyway.
Would you get this game day one, Jason?
Oh, this is a day one game. Yeah, for me, I've been
Yeah.
screaming and wanting this game for a while, and now I'm getting it. So I'm going to reward them with my $40. And yeah. So yeah, Star Wars
I
Squadrons.
am gonna buy if this comes out for the PS5. I'm gonna also buy it for the PS5.
All right, we're eating up
But
time.
The
so
Last of Us gets relegated?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
So
right.
X-Wing.
we got any more game news to get through, or anything that we've missed so far? Or-
It's not really news per se, but I did get to play a new game that has just come out.
Was that?
And if it's cool, I can talk about it.
Okay.
Summer in Mara. It fits right into what I've stereotypically been relegated to in video games, which is either RPGs or farming simulators. This is an island farming simulator. You play as Koa, who is the main character.
My God, this art is cute.
And yeah, the art in this game is so cute. Like I've been
Guy.
I backed this game back actually about a year ago, and they've been posting things pretty steadily to the backers, and just getting to see the artwork and stuff from this game has been great, and it's hyped me up. I got to play a little bit of it finally today. That they sent the codes out earlier this week, but things have been hectic. It's really cute. The controls are a little wonky, but I can't tell if that's just my controller because it's dying or if it's something with the game. It is like, this is early release, so these are things that are probably going to get fixed. But I'm enjoying it. The only critique I have for it is I wish they would kind of explain some of the mechanics a little more, because they'll give you take the torch here. You made a torch, now take it over there, but you can't find it in your inventory because it doesn't exist there for some reason. It's weird.
And
but
this is a Kickstarter.
So early
game, right?
days. Yeah.
And this was a-
yes, it was a Kickstarter game, and Nintendo was actually pushing it really hard during their indie showcases as well.
Oh, so it is still available to download.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
cool.
I got the download code actually for my Nintendo Switch, and that's what I've been playing it
So you
on.
just got like maybe early access or something.
Yes, because I backed it. I highly recommend it if y'all want something that's
The
like
artwork is-
it's an island theme farming simulator that has a story, has a set ending, and I believe they said it's only 100 quests in between, like from start to finish. So it's one that you can finish relatively easy. Start over if you want to. There's obviously way more quests in there, but like main story wise, there's not that many.
She looks like the baby, like if there was a baby version of the daughter from Dream Daddy.
She kind of does,
I know,
yeah.
that's what the artwork immediately spoke to me, is from Dream Daddy.
And I don't know much about Chibig, which is the company the game company that made the game, but the game itself seems to have a lot of roots with Polynesian lore and like Eastern Island kind of lore, because the lore on the island of Mara seems very, very similar to some Hawaiian lore. So and some of the designs, it leads me to believe that they were inspired by the island, by just island nations over there.
Okay. All right. Are there any other stories? I got one more in me, I think. Anybody that I missed or anything?
Real quick, Sims 4 is going to be available on Steam for the first time, so that's going to be a thing. They did a really cool video on EA, where a bunch of people were saying how Sims really let them come out of the shelves because people weren't judging them by their appearance, more by the personality. So that was a pretty cool video. I recommend watching that. But yes, Sims 4 coming to Steam next, so we've got that going on. So,
Cass, anything we miss?
Nope.
I got one more, and it's look, okay. I spend a lot of money with Hasbro. Boy, I do. But they finally found something that I don't know. And it's a head. It's the head. It's the head of
What?
Deadpool. It's so this thing here is the Marvel Legends Deadpool interactive head.
Yes.
It is an interactive app-based collectible with over 600 sound effects and phrases, multiple sensors, and motors for expressive movement. You can
That
play
sounds terrifying.
pranks on people and for $100, this item will be released in September of 2020. And yes, it is just a head that you put on your shelf. It'll wink at you, yell at you. You can see the mouth moving underneath. Yes, you can put an app on it. I don't know if the app will have app enhanced for your pleasure. I can't believe I read that.
Oh no.
Oh, it's like Deadpool.
Cass and I have the same
this
brain.
is cute. My head moves to and fro like a ballerina. Hath a Deadpool's head not eyes? It does. And it's filled with motors and sensors for all that sweet, sweet expressive movement and interactivity. Just like your head, I assume.
Is it being voiced
No.
by Ryan Reynolds?
There is no
There's
word
no
on
way.
that. I don't think it is. They did not get Ryan
There's
Reynolds.
no way.
I'm going to go ahead and say
If
no.
he voices it, I will drop.
You can't.
a
No,
Hondo
they
for
didn't. They didn't
this.
get Ryan Reynolds to do this. I believe they played a video, and I saw it was not Ryan Reynolds. But
Is it-
you can get him to say a bunch of censored jokes, pranks, and insults. So don't look for this thing to drop words that I can't drop on this show. So, oh wait, fuck, there, I got it this week.
Dang it! Ah!
Anyway,
Ah!
so they won't say that, but yeah, get yourself an interactive Deadpool head, $100. I don't know.
I
don't know, man.
You know
Too
what?
weird. Too weird.
I don't want a head
It's
because
tempting
'cause this
that's
thing
such a
has-
Deadpool thing.
this thing has exactly one time to automatically say something and me not expect it. And me just
Jason, you need to buy that toy.
throw a knife across the room and it doesn't talk.
I want to get one and see if we can put it on the show.
I mean, the
Too
only
weird.
reason I would get this is for pranks, which, damn,
You don't drop $100 on.
to mess with people? Absolutely, yes.
It's a fairly unoriginal prank,
Hold
though.
on, let me say, to mess with you guys, yes, I would.
But see, it wouldn't bother us because we already know about it.
Yeah, you do. For now, you'll forget.
No, I won't.
There's so
I won't.
many-
I
it's
will.
so weird. It's
You're
so
right. I can't
weird.
hold water. I'll probably anyway. You'll see my
Dude, I'll
Instagram.
go-
Jason got that
Dude, I'll go
stupid
half
head.
with you. I'll give you half.
Anyway, so yeah, from Hasbro, get ahead of the game and get yourself a Deadpool.
So weird.
Did we get everything for news?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we
so
have.
Yes.
We're running over because
Oh, yes.
we started a little bit late. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining us out there in the Super Cool Nerd Nation for another week of news and pop culture and just us trying to make it through these troubling times. And it's also our therapeutic session to see each other because we don't get to see each other anymore. It's sad. It makes me sad. Anyway, follow our Facebook page, SCNS Live, facebook.com/SCNS Live, and on Twitter and Instagram at SCNS Live. But if you want to follow us personally, you can follow me at JasonTheX on Twitter and Instagram. Rick, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram under NerdyRick89. I'm doing the 366-day challenge. Today was day 170, I believe. I posted a picture of a Pride Funko Pop that I got today. It is Batman in the Pride colors. Funko did donate money to a LGBTQ charity, which I cannot remember off the top of my head. I am so sorry, but go check that out. I tagged them on the post, so you can go there and see what they're about. It's really, really cool. Shout out to Sandra Frost and Dana Wise. They adopted a baby Yoda today, and they are awesome mothers to it. So yay, love you guys, miss y'all.
I'm seeing if there's any brains in here, but it's not doing. Sorry, it's a different camera. Cass, where can they find you? If you're watching the YouTube stream, you can see my camera's different. Anyway, Cass, where can they find you?
You can find me at the Good Cast or the Bad Cast, depending on what quality of content you enjoy. If you want to see my pillow person that I've been snuggling with, or if you want to see normal pictures. You can also find Kat and I at Doa Drawings on Twitter, where we are posting just really the worst drawings of things that Overwatch casters say.
Cora, where can they find you?
All right. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at sorry, not at Hawks Perch. That's wrong. At Corodono Art. I've been posting some sketches that I've been doing for a meme over on my FF14 Twitter, which is at chaotic_noodle. I have some of the sketches, and I'll be making them all nice and pretty and posting them in places.
Yay!
Also, if you want to hear me shouting to the void about Suikoden, which I got to join a special event for Suikoden, and the artwork for that is going to be posted soon to the official Twitter for the Suikoden popularity poll. I believe that will be this Saturday.
Also on the channel, we did get to visit the new Dallas Vintage Toys 3.0, their third and largest store so far. It's great. Please go check them out at their new location. And also Jaden's Toys. You can watch Alternate Heads, which is also on the channel. And we visited both stores and got a little bit of video. So yeah, check it out there. Other than that, before we go,
My mom dropped $200 at Dallas Vintage.
What did she get me?
She got a bunch of Star Wars toys.
What did she get me?
Nothing.
Your appreciation for you.
Coming
your
from
video.
your mom, that means a lot, actually. Anyway, guys, yeah, special shout out to brother Bryce. We miss you, Bryce. We can't wait to have you back on the show, man. Please keep our friend in your thoughts. We miss you, buddy. Other than that, that is our show for the week. We will see you next week. And as we always say around here, keep on nerding.
Keep on
nerding.
nerding. Nerding. Nerding.
Nerdy.
Nerding. Nerdy.
Nerdio.
Nerd.
That's in Spanish.